Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Okay guys, we have got a champion rebalance or a buff, hopefully. Today we're going to be talking about just one measly champion. All Raid managed to do in this month was balance one. Oh man, feels bad. Like, how is it not always at least one Void legendary, one legendary, and at least one epic? At least, surely, in a month. One champion in a month is all they've managed. Okay. So, I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Who do you think it's going to be? Honestly, the biggest miss here. What do you think the biggest miss is when I click on this name of what they could have done? This is the one. This is the champion who's going to be buffed. What could they have done at the same time, surely? Buff his partner. Surely. It's crazy. When they first came out, they were actually kind of busted for the game, which is madness when you think back, you know, in terms of the difference in the game right now. But Minaya has to be on the list, surely. I know she's had a change, by the way. It just feels like she's still to do with a bit more. Anyway, we've got Coronar today. So Coronar is the champion who's going to be buffed. Which, interestingly, I've already seen a couple of comments from the CCs. They're like, damn, Coronar's annoying to face in things like Doom Tower and Curse City. He's already an annoying champion to face. He's just not that effective in the current sort of state of the game when it comes to really most content. It's not like, yeah, he's the one we need. But by the way, super sweet skin. I really love this visual. Like, really cool visual. Anyway, let's go into his changes, see what's going on. Coronar rebalance before and after. We've got on his basic skill, on his A1, attacks all enemies, 50% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 5%. Attacks all enemies 2 times instead of 1, and the chance of decreasing turn meter increases to 100 if Minaya is on the same team. Okay, so this was kind of broken initially, right? This skill was broken initially because there were not many good turn meter drops in the game, and he was doing it to a whole wave. He could do it to, you know, back when Spider was really hard to beat. He was quite strong for that. It was always difficult though because Minaya was never really good enough to have in your team. So you're basically saying, is Coronar worth 2 slots if Minaya's in your team for the extra stuff that he does? Anyway, they're changing it here to now, instead of a 5% turn meter drop, it's a 10. And then if Minaya's on the same team, attacks all enemies 2 times, and the chance to decrease turn meter becomes 100%, the damage of each hit will be decreased by 50%. What's different here? The chance of decreasing turn meter is 100%. If Minaya's on the same team, the damage of each hit is decreased by 50%. Are they just bolded it into yellow, but they've just changed the way they've written the words? I don't know if I'm going crazy. I feel like that's the same. I think it's the same. Let me know if I cannot read and there's something different here. To me, it looks like the same, unless they've forgotten to change a number. I don't know. But anyway, looks like the same to me. So the A2 then, basic as it is right now, 75% chance to provoke. And again, like in-game, doesn't tell us on these, but it does go up to 100%. So it is bookable to be stronger. So basically 100% chance to provoke. And if you ascend him, it's 100% chance to provoke on all enemies for 1 turn. Places block debuffs and increased defense on him, and removes all debuffs from his champion before placing both of those if Minaya is on the same team. This is very annoying. This is a very annoying skill. 100% chance to provoke is very strong. Increased defense is good for him. So yeah, it's quite an annoying skill. So in the new version then, when he's ascended, 100% chance of placing provoke. Also places block debuffs and increased defense on his champion for 2 turns. Also, they've bolded the word also here. So places block debuffs and increased defense. It's the same, right? Am I going insane where they're trying to make it look like there's something different, but are they just putting a new word in there and saying that's a buff? Am I going absolutely insane, or is this just the same rate? You're trying to make me look like a fool. Right, let's see what the new part is. If Minaya is on the same team, the provoke cannot be resisted. Okay, that is new. So 100% chance to provoke. He's void, and it cannot be resisted. So they're doubling down on the Mania aspect without changing Mania is the challenge here. They've also got, if Mania is on the same team, also removes all debuffs from all allies, then places block debuffs and increased defense on all allies. Okay, this is interesting, right? So that's a massive upgrade. Huge upgrade. Suddenly it's not just him, it's the whole team. And they get block debuffs and increased defense, which are two very powerful buffs. At the same time, he is controlling the whole enemy wave and needs no accuracy to do it. He does need accuracy to push back turn meter. Okay, so this is different. Maybe this is what this is meant to be updated to and they've done it wrong. I wonder if this is meant to be 0 accuracy required if Mania is on the same team. Like, it can't be resisted. Because everything else cannot be resisted now if Mania is on the same team. I wonder if there's a typo here and that should say cannot be resisted. So what's interesting about this skill here then, the A2, block debuffs and increased defense. Like if we go back into Mania, so that would be the synergy, but she already does block debuffs for the whole team. So you have to have her on the same team to get team block debuffs from Coronar, but she's already doing the same skill. She's doing it on a 4 turn. I guess he's doing it on, doesn't tell us here. You know, it's just like a little bit of, are you thinking about what you're doing? So this is on a 3 turn. Don't know, just feels like they're not really thinking about that synergy properly. If you want Mania to definitely be in the team, you're giving him the same skill she has to bring to your team. It just seems a bit crazy to me. Okay, let's have a look at the A3 skill. So attacks all enemies. This is beforehand. Attacks all enemies. Places decreased attack debuff on all enemies. Places a decreased defense if the targets are already under decreased attack. So this is changing to attacks all enemies. Places decreased attack and decreased defense, and if Mania is around, cannot be resisted, which is definitely a good change and feels like that should be the right change. So you definitely get both debuffs every time, and then if Mania is around, you need no accuracy to do it. By the way, needing no accuracy to do it as a void legendary is a massive buff. Like, that really is a massive buff, but it's reliant on you having 2 champs, which is quite obviously hard to do, especially void and then another champ. She is one of the ones you could buy from the token trader if you're someone who's got tons of legendaries and stuff, but you know, just like overflow. But yeah, we've got no aura currently. That's that right? Yeah, no aura currently, and it's changing to increase ally resistance in all battles. Again, I'm pretty sure does he go in as a lead for Doom Tower? I'm pretty sure he might do actually. So that makes that harder. And then that's just A1, 2, and 3. He's still got these passives here. Counter attacks when hit by enemies under decreased attack, decreased defense. Obviously, he's doing that. So he's going to be counter attacking and pushing back more turn meter from his A1. And then his other passive here places increased defense on all allies for 2 turns if this champion kills someone. Now, it doesn't say anything about any damage change for this guy. He doesn't hit very hard. But I guess maybe this just disappears. I don't know if this... They don't mention anything about the passive, so I'm guessing this stays. But yeah, I mean, they don't mention any sort of damage change. His damage is not high, and he's an HP-based dude. So, and again, this is just kind of doing now the same thing that his A2 is going to do. Again, it just feels weird, like kind of weird counter synergy in some of the stuff you're doing. But really, what they're saying here is there's only a significant buff if you're running the 2 of these champs together, Mania and Coronar. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know if he gets to look in. I know the skeptics of the group are going to say all this has really achieved is it's made him a lot harder to beat in Doom Tower and in, you know, Cursed City and stuff like that. I don't know that he comes out of the vault for this. He's definitely a help, I would say, actually, for, you know, hard faction wars for sure. You definitely need crowd control and you need it to be consistent. Also, the provokes, you know, they help you with some of the mission stuff. It could already provoke those. It's not like that's changing. Yeah, don't know. I don't know if this is really the one. I don't know if this is really the change that we needed for Coronar. And it's a real shame that Mania is not in the mix as well. I don't know. Let me know what you think, guys. Is he coming out of your vault? Yes or no? I'll see you in the next one.